Well, 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 look who it is. It's you, the person watching this video. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to check out Mr. Muskrat. See what he's up to today. Oh, by the way, I got my blue check mark. Thank you very much. Well, okay, it's not blue, it's white on here, but I got my check mark, so thank you very much. I am verified officially me. I paid the $8 on top of the $5 for the other. There was the $5 for the regular Twitter Blue, and then $8 for the upgraded Twitter Blue, which looks the exact same. So it's basically I just spent a lot of money on nothing. I don't really use any of the features, but we'll see. I mean, they're gonna add new features. I mostly just wanted the check mark because it looks cool, but everybody else has it, so you know, it is what it is, as they say. But I just wanted to go through since I skipped a day of not doing Twitter news. There's been some things going on, but really not like a lot of like super crazy, dramatic, exciting things. It seems like things have kind of calmed down a little bit, you know, although there still are some big things going on. They've updated some things about their hateful speech, hateful conduct stuff that they've been working on. They've been able to reduce impressions on this type of content in search by 95% relative to even prior baseline levels. I don't really know what the baseline levels were. Maybe it says right here on this piece of digital paper here. Previous search impressions baseline. Okay. New search impressions baseline. All right. Cool. Good for them. Good, great. Yeah, I guess when it all switched to Elon, there was a bunch of like slurs and stuff being said, and I guess they quelled that rather quickly, apparently. He goes on to say, Mr. Yoel Roth, we did two main things: suspend several thousands of the trolling, abusive content or accounts at the core of the surge, filtering tweets that we detected as hateful and abusive, being a little vague here to avoid revealing the specific implementations in an adversarial space. And these steps take away many of the gratifications of the trolling here. Bans are frustrating and take work and resources to try to circumvent. Visibility filtering deprives trolls of the attention and reach they're trying to get. So, good. They are quelling the racists, the sexists, the homophobes, the whatever else, you know, whatever. They're quelling it. Whatever it is, they're quelling it. So that's good, I suppose. All right, great. Twitter is like, please note that Twitter will do lots of dumb things in coming months. We'll keep what works and change what doesn't. So they were just doing like a double check mark thing for a little bit, I guess for like a day, and they don't do it. They're not doing it anymore. So it was like you had the check mark, and then you had another check mark in your bio, which is not here anymore, but it was like two check marks. And the other one was like the normal verification that was from before. And the new one was like the new verification that you pay for. And I'm like, that's too complicated. Like a lot of people are saying just have different kinds of have different color check marks for whatever it is that you are. And I like that idea. Just have like a blue check mark for the basic $8 verification, and then have like gold for like the because they do like official check marks for like if you're a journalist or if you're like a company and that sort of thing, which is kind of like the old check mark, which is like you're a notable person of some kind, or you're part of a big company, which still seems kind of vague. Like I don't know how they're going to determine the rules for that. And then you can have like different colored check marks for different things, like if you're part of if you're a journalist, you could have a certain color check mark. So you could do something like that, and it would make sense, except for the fact that either do an actual verification or get rid of the word verification, because there's not really any verification going on. It's just paying for a check mark. So either get some kind of a verification or change the name, or what they're saying is that this paying for the check mark will get rid of a lot of fake accounts and stuff, because they're going to pay for the check mark for their, you know, bot maybe not bot accounts, but their like secondary accounts and whatnot to do whatever nefarious deeds they want to do on those accounts. But then they're going to theoretically quickly be discovered and then deleted, and they're going to be out those $8. So it's going to become very expensive. So it's going to be a deterrent, which is good. And it seems like that could work. The only two problems with that are, or at least there's one problem. The only one problem that there is with that is that there could be a delay between them creating it, doing nefarious acts, and then being discovered and deleted. So like they can still, and we have seen some things. I don't think I have this pulled up, but there was someone pretending to be like LeBron James, and he did a fake message where he was like, I'm open for trading or whatever, and like being traded to another team. And that got a ton of hits before it was shut down. And then there was another one, I forgot who it was. But basically, you can do a fair amount of damage within like the 2 hours that it takes to discover and close down the account. So there's still potential for nefarious acts. And still, if you want to verify, the best way that I've seen to verify is to actually show your ID, take a picture of yourself with your ID and send it in for verification, for like manual verification or whatever, however they do it on like KuCoin and these other crypto services that I've used. That's how they do like this specific kind of verification. That seems legit. And then, but even so, like I think this will help at least to a point. It'll help the way that Elon wants to do it. It's just, I don't know if I'd call it verification per se. It took me less than 25 minutes to set up a fake anonymous Apple ID using a VPN like NordVPN. I am not sponsored by NordVPN. There's other VPNs. And disposable email. Attach a mask. He's like teaching people how to create a fake ID. Attach a masked debit card to it with the address being Twitter HQ. And get a verified account for a prominent figure. Just think what a nation state or bad actor could do. Yes, this is true, but it'll get expensive pretty quickly, but still. So it seems like it's pretty easy to create these fake verified accounts, right? So again, what's the point? They're not verified. They're just paid for. And there is a deterrent, but it's not a verification. Twitter wants to pass the verification steps off to Apple and card providers. But Apple didn't check a single detail, and you can easily find disposable cards with no links to you or even stolen, hacked card details if you're a particularly malicious actor. The policy is unworkable. Twitter claims they've raised costs for malicious actors, but I think they're actually lowered them. Now anyone with $8 can buy a verified badge rather than having to hire someone to hack a verified account or trawling through password leaks. That's a really good point. Could actually be less expensive now to fake a verified account. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about regular accounts. It's not impersonations of high-profile accounts that are the problem. It's the person impersonating a minor online celebrity, an obscure government functionary, or perhaps their ex. That's where the harm will be done and no one will notice or care until it's far too late. The problem with the argument that the verification system now just means something different and we should accept that is that the new system is very unintuitive and counter to what every other social media site does. I agree with that. If you're not terminally online, you may not realize what's happened. And it's changing like daily. Elon just created this like 2 checkmark thing and then deleted it like the same day from what it looks like. So yeah, it is, and that's what I've been thinking about this whole time. It's not the same as every other social media platform, right? Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I like the idea of trying something totally different that might work even better, or that just might work similarly, but just be a different way of doing things. I'm fine with that, but I just don't see how this is a better way of doing things yet, necessarily. There will be few examples of big accounts doing big damage, but I suspect the more common scenario we'll see is small to medium-sized accounts doing small to medium-sized damage or big damage to a small number of people. It'll be death by 1,000 cuts, not a single blow. This is a really good point. If everyone can get verified, without anybody actually verifying their identity at any stage of the process. How will anyone, let alone Twitter, know who the real Dr. X is? And so he's referring to this post. It's even worse than this. Twitter will have no way to know which of the 7 accounts claiming to be Dr. X is really Dr. X because it hasn't been actually verified. Like, I don't know what this is, how hard it is to understand this by Elon or whoever's like doing this. They may find fakes, but they'll ban many real users too. So, I mean, that's a possibility. Like, exactly. Like, what if you have 5 different accounts and you're like, hey, I was the original real account. I mean, do they look at like the timeline or something and go, oh, this guy verified first? But even then, like, what if someone else verifies before you? And they're like, oh, y'all banned. No, all these verified people aren't really real. It doesn't make any sense. It was revealed that 57 UK MPs didn't have Twitter accounts. What's to stop someone starting up an account as one of them? As long as you don't go overboard, the impersonation could take a while to be detected. So yeah. My argument is not only that bad stuff could happen, it was also a response to Twitter's repeated claims that just because they're not doing verification doesn't mean no one is. My experiment debunks this claim. No one checked my identity at any stage. As I said earlier, during Elon Musk's Twitter Space meeting with the advertisers, Twitter should focus on prevention rather than mitigation with the impersonation. As long as they only treat impersonation as their problem after it's happened, I'm not sure they'll get far. I don't know what they're doing with the verification in quotes. I mean, it's fun that I have a little verified thing. When you click on it, it says verified. This account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue. But, you know, that's fun and all, but that's really all it is right now is fun. Maybe that was the goal, Elon's goal. He was like power to the people, yeah. And he doesn't really care about the verification thing right now, or they're working on something else that's better, but that's what it is. It is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then I did my own verification idea, which I showed right where is it? Oh, I replied to somebody. I was like, Elon, can there be a dollar store check mark that is like $1 per month, but looks like it was made in MS Paint? So that's the dollars. If you're like, don't want to spend $8, but you're like, $1 is fine. That's the check mark for the $1 verification. It's a dollar store version. Thank you very much. I hope Elon will hire me as the discount Twitter specialist. Yes, Twitter discount specialist. If you want it at a discount, you go through me. $1, 80 cents instead of $8, 80 cents. That's what it is. All right, moving right along at the news right here. Yes, where are we right now? All right, so we got this going on here. I don't know what this is. I just pulled it up for a brand new parody Twitter account for verification. Oh yeah, so this is one of those examples of one of the fake accounts that posted something and got a bunch of like engagement. A brand new parody Twitter account that paid for verification and chose the display name of ESPN's Adam Schefter tweeted, "Josh McDaniels was fired." The credible looking tweet received nearly 10,000 engagements. I didn't even know there were that many people on Twitter. Twitter suspended the account after 2 hours. So this was the example I saw where it was like 2 hours, and like, how much damage can you do in 2 hours with a big account or a fake account of a big person? Potentially a lot. And there's the one with LeBron, which said that LeBron was trying to get traded. Meta to cut 11,000 jobs. We knew this already, as well as other tech companies, because of the little tech bubble that was happening in the last couple of years. And apparently they're all realizing that that wasn't going to continue. I mean, I knew that COVID wasn't going to last very long, but really, I didn't really know that like this tech inflation was not going to continue. But I mean, I knew that like people were going to get online more during the lockdowns and everything. And then once it was all over, they're going to go back into the real world. Right. So like you could discern from that these tech companies were not necessarily going to have, as much business going on once that happened. So, but yes, the metaverse will cut more than 11,000 jobs. And he calls himself Mr. Zuck. What a weird name. Such a weird name. Calling himself responsible for the first major round of layoffs in the social media giant's history. Because there was a big inflation, they hired a bunch of people. They tried to create the metaverse, and then they were like, nobody's using the metaverse. So now they have to lay off about 13% of the workforce, which is not as much as Twitter, which was 50% so far. But it's crazy how many people are like hired at these companies. It's like tens of thousands of people. It's like blows my mind, because the place I work at right now is like one employee. And I don't know if I've ever, the biggest company that I've worked for is Verizon, probably. I mean, I worked for Walmart for like a month and I had to get out of there. I worked for Target for a few months. So I guess you could say maybe those, probably Walmart, but that was only for a little while. I worked at Verizon for a while. So, but you don't see all the people at once. But anyways, yeah, so they're going to do a hiring freeze. They're going to have a reduction because Mr. Zuck wants to take accountability. He knows this is tough. Sorry for those who are impacted. Meta, whose stock has plunged 71% this year through Tuesday. And it's actually gone up a tiny bit by like 5% after he fired people. Everybody's like, finally, you're like doing something that's good. Oh yeah, the shares rose 5.8%. He's taking steps to pare costs following several quarters of disappointing earnings and a slide in revenue. The retrenchment. All these financial words that The retrenchment, the company's most drastic since the founding of Facebook in 2014, reflects a sharp slowdown in the digital advertising market, an economy wobbling on the brink of recession, and Zuckerberg's. What the heck is a Zuckerberg? It's like it's like a certain kind of iceberg. The Zuckerberg. Multi-billion-dollar investment in a speculative virtual reality push called the metaverse. Oh, yes, the metaverse. Zuckerberg said in a statement that he'd anticipate that the surge in e-commerce and web traffic from the beginning of the COVID. See, this is where he's like, it would be part of a permanent acceleration because everybody was just going to get online and stay online and be even more online forever, permanently. We weren't going to get online because of COVID and then get off again afterward. No, the Zucker iceberg was like, hey, everybody's getting online during the pandemic. You know, I'll bet they're going to stay online. In fact, they're not only going to stay online, but they're going to want to be in this virtual reality online from now on because they're just so used to it. And they're just going to want to like be on there forever, 24 hours a day. And I'll bet that's got to be his thinking because of you've seen how crazy he is with the metaverse. Everybody's going to be on it. And I think that really in his head, he was like, yeah, everybody's going to get used to being online. And even after the pandemic's over, they're going to be so used to it. They're going to be, you know, this is fine. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to work on the metaverse. And I'm like going to only really spend maybe 15 minutes of my day going outside. I'm not even going to touch the grass. I'm going to like glance at it and then go back in, you know. I might go to the store in my car, but actually what I'll do is just have Walmart ship or Amazon Fresh ship it to my house. So I'm not even going to go outside for that. I might go get gas here and there, but that's about it. So like who actually thought that was going to happen other than apparently the Zuckerberg? And because his push with this metaverse thing is so crazy, like what the heck? And it's so crappy looking too. So anyways, yeah, Zuckerberg, he thought it was all going to keep going. The macroeconomic downturn, increased competition, and ad signal loss has caused our revenue to be much lower than expected. I got this wrong. Okay, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet have all slowed or paused hiring. Snap also is scaling back. So this is all like, you know, they all grew a bunch and now they have to reduce everything. This is gonna, a lot of people are gonna be out of work, and where are they gonna get jobs? Because these are all like engineers and smart people and coders. But there's other companies. There's like this seems to always be like tech companies that need coders and engineers and that sort of thing. U.S. workers who are cut will also get 16 weeks of their base salary as severance. So he seems to be giving them a good like severance package and everything. Yeah. Even with the cuts, Meta continues to expect that losses in the Reality Labs division, which houses the metaverse, will grow significantly year over year. So he's going to be spending more money, or there will be more losses. So either he'll be spending more money or there'll be less people using it, but he'll still be spending money on it. The Zuckerberg has been asking investors for patience. Please be patient for the next 10 years, where hopefully augmented reality, virtual reality will take off. Next big computing platforms after mobile phones, the metaverse. Well, what if like after mobile phones, like we're going to have mobile phones for a while. It's just going to become, yeah, I can see, I don't know if you've watched like, I watched this like 10 years ago. All right. So like 20 years ago, man, that's when I was watching Ghost in the Shell. But if you haven't watched that, I'm not talking about the movie, although I guess it's the same. So like, yeah, if you want to watch the more recent movie that came out with someone who's not even Japanese whatsoever, what's her name? That actress, she was like Black Widow and Marvel movies. I don't know, whatever her name is. She was in Ghost in the Shell, but I'm talking about the what do you call it? The Japanese animation. Anime. Long time ago. Ghost in the Shell. There's a bunch of different series and stuff, movies. But in that world, it's like the future. I don't know what year. We'll just say 2100. And it just like dawned on me, or maybe not dawned, but clicked with me that this is how it's going to be in the future when I watched it like 20 years ago. Where it's like, it seems like a natural progression where you're going to be connected to the net, the internet, but it's going to be like via implants in your brain, chips, whatever. That's going to be far into the future, but you're also going to be having like cyborgs, all sorts of different like connections and glasses and different eyes that you could take out and replace with new eyes that can do more augmented stuff. And what you'll be like a cyborg. Everybody will be replacing their hearts and lungs with different. Anyways, the point is you'll be connected to the net, and you'll be able to like talk to each other like telepathically, but it's not really telepathically. It's just like using Wi-Fi, but it's like in your brain, right? So it's like chips and stuff, and then you can see the net through your eyes. Like either it'll be displayed in front of your eyes or whatever, or you can just think and you'll be thinking like in the net or whatever it is. And so we're there, just not there, right? Right now we have cell phones and we can talk to each other, obviously wirelessly. And we also have like headphones that are wireless and talk to people. And pretty soon the next thing is going to be like AR, augmented reality, but it's not going to be with these clunky headsets. This is like iteration number one. After a little while, it's going to be, glasses that actually look like real glasses. And so they're going to be stylish and they're going to look not crazy, but you're going to be able to have like an overlay of augmented reality over everything that's going to be telling you things. And we already have that on our cell phones, but it's going to be like eyeglasses. And then at some point in the future, it's going to be contact lenses. And then at some point in the future, it's going to be just a chip that's going to be able to like send signals to your to your eyeballs, where there's going to be like chips in your eyeballs that can display inside your eyeballs, so you don't even need contact lenses, and so on. So watch Ghost in the Shell if you haven't, because that seems to be the natural progression. And right now we're not at Ghost in the Shell, but we're at like basically beta iteration of that. And so Meta is like, well, we need to get people in on the net, right? But it's with these clunky headsets that last an hour or two on their batteries. They're heavy. Nobody's going to use them because I mean, for any sort of serious work or serious amount of time, because they're just like, I mean, who wants to go home and like put this huge headset on? Well, some people do because it's actually quite fun, but I don't know. The technology is not there to where it's going to be mainstream for a long time. But the good thing about this is that they're speeding up that process, right? Because we are at this clunky like alpha or beta like version 0.01 where it's all, you know, it's not convenient to use yet. But you know, the more money they pour into this stuff, I'm fine with, because I don't really like Facebook. So like if they want to dump a bunch of money in this, great. Get it to the point where it can be more mainstream and easier to use. And the goal would be to make it more convenient to use this, or there's like a benefit to convenience trade-off here. It has to be like beneficial enough or convenient enough, or like a combination for us to be able to want to use like virtual reality and augmented reality. Right now it's like, it's usable, but like I don't even care to open up an app on my phone and use augmented reality. That's about it. Check out my last video, which is about sweaters. It's just a fun like fashion video I did a while ago. I didn't want to shoot a video yesterday, so I uploaded one. So I'm still doing my 30-day YouTube challenge to make a video every day. So I did upload one yesterday. It's just I didn't shoot one yesterday. I uploaded another one. But anyways, go watch that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.